This week, last year, it's my 1 year anniversary of me coming out as trans. Since then, I've come out in my college course, my theater group, and about 5 of my cousins now know I'm trans. I never planned on coming out at all. I planned on transitioning behind everyone's back, except my friends, as I was terrified. But my mom ended up coaxing it out of me, and she just held me as I cried. Right now, I'm still scared about the rest of my family finding out. In a way, I'm not as nervous as I used to be, but I'm still wary about who I'm thinking about telling. I still get a lot of anxiety at family events. A lot of them still use my dead name, she, her pronouns, and asking if I have a boyfriend, assuming I'm straight, when I'm bi. And I really, really love women. Anyway, let's continue. I'm still the same person that I was. I'm more me than I've ever been. I'm still accepting myself as trans and trying not to let my dysphoria or past ideologies, such as transmedicalism, get in the way of me exploring my gender identity. My name is Lorcan, I'm nearly 19 years old, and I use he/they pronouns. And that's enough. But I'm also a red wolf boyo now. So, hello everyone, Kane the Circle here. Or, it's probably more appropriate, for me to be like this, because of who this is about. Also, I'm not going to pretend I spent 2 weeks doing these stills. So I better use them for more videos, because if I don't, it was probably a waste of time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So, who is this beautiful Wusky on screen right now? This is Lorcan. He's very shy. Please be nice to him. So I made a new Fursona. As I mentioned in my all my characters video, I like creating characters a lot, so there's a good chance I'm going to make a part 2. But this video is surrounding just one whole Fursona, which is very, very weird, and I'm going to be explaining why, because I feel like it'd be beneficial for some of you guys to hear, maybe, I don't know. So how this even really came about, I was just, as I've mentioned in my How the Furry Fandom Saved My Life video, I was really struggling with Kane, with identity, because I created Kane when I was 15, and at 15 I was in a really dark place, and just in general, especially with a lot of, just my junior years in general in school were shit. I explained it in that video, and just with how far I've come since then, especially in terms of identity, especially gender identity, and my self-image of myself has shifted dramatically. I felt the need to, well, I guess I didn't feel the need to, it was more of, considering everything has kind of been felt set in stone, it felt nice to actually look in the mirror for the first time in like years, maybe the first time in my life even. I felt comfortable seeing what I was seeing. So with that, me finally being comfortable, especially because when I created Kane, I didn't know why I made him initially male. He's actually non-binary. He uses he/they pronouns. I use he/they pronouns. I didn't really understand why I did that. And then, because initially my very first character that I ever used to represent myself online was female. I still have her. She still exists. She's just gone through a lot. I felt a lot of pressure when I hit into secondary school, and just, I think I felt the pressure when I was 11, to be very feminine, but it didn't feel that inside. I was just kind of balling it up. For the most part, I was bottling a lot of my masculinity, because growing up, when I would be very tomboyish and or just be very masculine, it was always an like, it was more of a, I don't really know how to explain it, but it was more of, well, it it felt like silly for a woman to be masculine, because I got that from teachers and stuff like that a lot. Like, they're like, oh, they're so masculine, you know, they'll grow out of it. And especially I felt a lot of that pressure when I hit puberty. The whole "you're a woman now" type speech, and I hated that. And I just kind of bottled it up, like, yeah, like, this is what it's supposed to happen. You're meant to grow up and become a beautiful woman, and this, and that didn't feel right. I just kind of bottled up the masculine feelings that I still had because I consider them childish. And then I kind of realized they never went away. And the more I grew up, the more they didn't go away. And that just kind of scared me. Because I was meant to be a woman. And I wasn't. I didn't feel that. And I just felt like pressure from a lot of, I guess, the authority figures in my life to be that way. And that really scared me. Because I wasn't a feminine woman, and more importantly, I didn't feel like a woman all the time, and I didn't feel feminine really at all. The very few times I do feel feminine, but for the most part, I feel really masculine, and I feel comfortable having my hair short, and I feel comfortable wearing masculine clothing, and the thought of me having no tits and having a masculine chest brings me so much euphoria. And then being referred to with he, him pronouns and they, them pronouns, it feels so much more comfortable than she, her. Even though sometimes she, her can feel okay, it's definitely not one I have listed in my bio because it fluctuates a lot, and it's, for the most part, I really don't like being called she, her. And so that's one reason why I really got rid of that initially, that first character, because I felt that pressure from a very young age to be a certain way. And then as soon as I hit the furry fandom and I lost my old friend group, that feeling of unsettled feelings, because even then, like, I discovered I was bisexual, and I'd kissed 2 girls in my childhood, and that always kind of haunted me because I was scared, because I never seen anything like that before. And then, considering I didn't feel this pressure anymore, I had the ability to discover my sexuality and stuff like that without my friend group holding me back, because that's what they did for the most part. They hold me back from a lot. So now that a lot of that dust has settled, I can look myself in the mirror for the most part and like what I see, because I haven't had top surgery. So I thought, finally, considering this is like the first time in my life where I can actually look at myself in the mirror and be happy with what I see, and although I'm still getting there with my social anxiety, it's not just gonna go away. It's unfortunately probably gonna stay with me for the rest of my life. There's definitely things I can do to help myself. But for the most part, although I have a lot of things to do still with healing and a lot of other things, I don't talk about really publicly, don't plan to either, because they're just not things to put out on the internet. More likely or not, if it was to get out, more likely just to harm me than anything else, because putting out your trauma on the internet with a lot of things you've gone through isn't a good idea. Especially because there's people who use that against you, and it's very dangerous. Sorry, kind of tangent. Some people just put out a lot of their trauma on the internet, and it's not safe for them to do that, because there's some people who will be evil and use it against you. So that's one reason why I don't go back there usually, unless I know I can take it. Considering I still have a lot of things left to do in terms of healing with a lot of things that I've been through, but for the most part, I can look myself in the mirror and not hate what I see. I thought, let's actually make a Fursona that's just based off me. Nothing else, not an aspirational character, not something I think I should be. I want a character that is basically me. So Lorcan came about. I just got a Fursona template and I just went to town. I made him a red wolf initially. He still is a red wolf, but he is also a husky mix. Morely because I see he's a bit too fluffy for a wolf, and I just think the curly tail is adorable, and so I'm like, okay, Wusky it is. Huskies were like my favorite breed when I was really young. Right now it's German Shepherds are my favorite, because Huskies are too much work, and they're cute, don't get me wrong, but like I can never own one because they're a lot of work. And so German Shepherds are like my dog, my dream dog. I want one so bad because they're so smart and they're so intelligent, and oh, they're so cute little dorks. I also made him a red wolf to a throwback to my Therianthropy when I was a Therian. I don't identify as a Therian anymore. I'll probably make a video about it. And also because red wolves are one of the smallest types of wolves, and I'm 5'1", and also I have red hair, so or I guess you could call me Ginger, but I don't like referring myself as Ginger, but yeah, so I thought it was fitting. So yeah, so I made Lorcan, and he's adorable. So he's just really just an anthropomorphic version of me. There's really nothing else to explain it really for him. He's just that, and he shares some personal traits with Kane, you know, but there is a drastic change in personality. Like, they have the same piercings and stuff like that because piercings were something I gave to Kane to feel a bit more like me. Kane is still relevant because instead of having him really as an aspirational character, because I don't look at him as the same way I did when I was 15, he's more now just an embodiment of the strength of a lot of the shit that I've been through. So he's just kind of my reminder right now to stay strong. And he's morally just a best version of myself, really, where Lorcan is more, I don't want to say authentic, but I guess more of a stripped down version of myself. So that's really it, really for him. Also, don't worry, Kane's not going anywhere. He's still relevant. This channel name's not changing. I just felt like it was beneficial to talk about it, especially with, you know, finding who we are as people and just a lot of other things, because I don't ever plan on hiding a lot of parts of myself, really. There's some things I will for obvious sakes, you know, but like I feel like I don't want to just be a content creator and create content that is, I guess, minimalist, I guess. I want my content to have substance, which is one reason why I talk about a lot of things, because for one, I like talking, despite having social anxiety disorder. It's definitely something that I want my content to have, is to provide discussion, and sometimes providing discussion can be talked about things that I've personally been through, because I feel like it can be very important to hear, especially because like life is difficult, and I felt like it was something to finally, you know, to talk about, you know, because I haven't really talked about it a lot, especially last year when I was really going through it with me coming out as trans. But this is like finally the year where I can, talk about it, because I've come out to people, like, so it just feels nice to finally talk about it and stuff like that, even if it's really difficult. So really, I think that's it, or really all I have to really say. I hope it was beneficial. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely different from my other videos that don't plan on putting music on the back of this, because it's just not appropriate for a video like this. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.